I have with me Eyimisan Abdulsawan, who is a very concerned citizen. We've seen like your footage go out regarding the floods, and we're going to go into that. And then we also have a development expert, Prince Victor Udoka. Welcome to Robin Minds.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Some days we just pray that it doesn't rain because it could literally be the decider of if work happens, if school happens, if anything happens. Because sometimes you wonder, in a state like Lagos, should we also have canoes as well as cars? No, it's a serious question.
Thanks for having me here. One of the things that has happened in the past few weeks is I bought a boat, and that boat was used to take children from point A to B to school, and some other people. And the flood has been really bad. Even though we've been hearing things like, oh, it's flash flood, in 1 hour it will go, but some places has not been that case. Places like my side, Agungi Ajiron, has not been like that. It doesn't go after, it reduces, but there are some places that just constant water there, and it disrupts a lot of work. A lot of people can't go to work, and it just affects business around the area.
I'll pose the same question to you. I mean, you have a boat, so that has come in very handy. I don't know, maybe the question shouldn't have been a canoe. Maybe, do we all need boats? Because if a flash flood is no longer flashing and it's staying, then how do we move?
Yeah, that's a very great question. And it's a concern that a lot of people are starting to have. Let's say from the past 2 to 5 years, we've been seeing the level of flooding increase. First of all, last year's rain was not as intense as this year's rain. So we are seeing climate change, and then also the development of basically human activities. All of that is starting to affect living, especially in that stretch from Victoria Island to Agungi Ajiron, Orchid Road, even some further down into Monash Road, Shangotedo. And then now we also saw how the flooding moved into mainland, which is something that
Maryland was affected, the Maryland Bridge. So it's not an island thing anymore.
It's more of the proof of climate change that has been ignored. I do think that when you look at the footage of Nigeria...
Yeah, let's take a look at your footage, and let's get into that.
Wow. Are you recording? So this is where the water is reaching me. And I've not even gone far. I've not gone deep inside. I am 6'2". This is where the water is reaching me. Lagos State government, local government, please fix our road. Please, year in, year out, every single year, we have water issues. Please come and fix the road. Because when it comes to election and everything, we start seeing...
I want to add my own pleas too, because I know that this government really needs to get into this. Like, we need solutions. It's no longer about press releases. It's no longer about this is a flash flood. It's no longer about that the drainage is... If it's really about the drainage, are we saying that we cannot enforce people to keep the drainage clean? If it's about people building illegally, are we saying that the demolitions are not enough? What can this government do to prevent the loss of lives, property, and stopping of businesses? I mean, looking at that, all I can begin to think about is malaria. I'm thinking about diseases. I'm thinking about the mosquitoes. I'm thinking about people dying because this water is left and all of this happens. Like, this is an emergency. This should not be swept under the carpet. It should not.
I yesterday, funny enough, had the opportunity to take a walk with the commissioner, Honorable Tokumbo Wahab, through my area, because he messaged me on Instagram and said, I want to come to check your Ajiron Agungi area. I'll need you to be there so you could actually just really tell me what's really going on. And I took a walk, and while he was there, he explained some things. And as much as you see, I have, listening to him, I could tell that him and his team have tried to do 1 or 2 things, but they have come across different challenges. Some of it is developmental challenges, people, individuals like that developers that have sandfield places where water should exit from, that he then has to pull down. Some of it is approval. He needs a level of approval before he can take on the project. But he also mentioned some things around, how far they have gone in trying to address different issues. If you notice, there has also been some news around the coastal road, people saying, oh, their houses didn't used to flood, but with the coastal road, their houses are flooding because the water is going nowhere, right? That is even a federal state government project, but he's been navigating around that.
So I hear you, and
Yeah.
Nigerians hear you, but that doesn't change the fact that we don't have solutions and people are going to be
True, a lot.
impacted.
Yes.
So at this point, like, if it's approval we need to get, who do we need to speak to? Do we need to speak to our lawmakers? Do we need to write to agencies? Lives are at stake.
Yes.
So we need more than we hit a roadblock. We need solutions. And I want to move to you,
Yeah.
Prince Victor. Part of the thing is about people collectively taking responsibility. Do you think that it's us or people putting waste that is really causing this? Or are there bigger issues? Because before you build in Lagos, you need approval.
Yeah.
So somebody is giving that approval for that place to be sandfield before it's even built.
Yeah.
And it's still government.
Yeah. Okay, so to answer this question, let me just take our minds back to the early stages of development from Lagos Island to the Lekki Peninsula. So we know that most parts of Ikoyi, the Lagos Island was sandfield.
Yeah.
And then we know that most parts of from Lekki was also sandfield. We have some pockets of land. If you zoom out and look at the map entirely, you see nature already gave us pockets where those areas will act as sponges. So as rain falls, they flow naturally into it. So now, sandfilling in itself is not a bad, what's the word? It's not a bad development process. But once you cover up somewhere, you're supposed to make
A channel.
a channel so that when the water that's supposed to be there comes there, they will still automatically find a way to go. Because water obviously needs somewhere to flow into or something to soak it up. You understand? But most of these developments, we don't see new challenges being created. Like, first of all, we have a development in Ikota GRA, where they literally shrunk a 6 feet wide canal into just a few centimeters to build up to 6 terrace duplexes. But that has been taken down. But now that has been demolished, nothing has still been done. That gutter is still that same size. They've not expanded it to match what was there before. You understand? So even if, as people are making their own actions to destabilize natural environment, and the government makes their own steps, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, this is not what you're supposed to do. But development itself is something that humans are the only ones that are doing it. So by humans making their own efforts to find places to live, they're also making minor degradations to the environment.
It has a stronger impact.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you. As someone who, probably 2 years ago, I was here, and where I was living was demolished. And it was also, building on drainage and all of that. And this was in Maryland.
Yes.
It's this same Maryland, Mende, that we saw the flooding. So I'm going to go back to the question of, if government is demolishing buildings, why is the follow-up not being done to expand these channels? Because the excuse can no longer be there that is a building that is in the way. The buildings are down. You gave the Ikota example. I'm giving you a personal example, Mende, Maryland. So why are we not expanding these channels? Or do we need a special approval? And if we do, from who?
So I can speak a bit to that. One of the things that we have as problems is that we don't follow up. When it becomes dry season, everybody abandons it because we are, even us, as we don't press on.
Is that our responsibility to follow up, to say, oh, you have demolished this set of buildings, oh yeah, come on, expand it? Or is it the government's responsibility to follow through to ensure that we are prepared? Because rainy season does not take you by surprise.
No,
we know that come this month, we will have rainy season. So
Yes.
what has this government done from last year, the previous year, to ensure that we're not at a worse stage Because it's like the problem is getting worse. I mean,
Yes.
from a development point of view, do you agree that the problem has gotten worse?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But what I can say is, it's two sides. So the way we have it right now, let me be as open as possible. Both the citizens and the government, we are not working hand in hand.
Synergy.
Yes, so the citizens on the other side, their responsibility is, we are renting here because with development, is our rental or you buy those properties. So you are living there regardless you are renting or you're buying. So your responsibility to the government is, obviously you have your local government that you reach out to. So that local government, the citizens living in those areas that were affected or previously affected that they demolished to create new pathways, like you said, following up. So, oh, this has been done. Let's prepare for the next step. Exactly. Right? So, and then the government too, in as much as the government is the power, they're also still working for their citizens. You understand?
Yes.
So they also should make processes where the citizen can share ideas even, right? And communicate challenges.
So,
I hear you, but again, maybe as someone who has had to move as a result of a demolition, I know firsthand that when we're looking for a place, we're asking all these questions. And it begs the question, the functions or the roles and responsibilities of realtors, of developers. Because I don't want to move to a place where they're going to demolish. I don't want to move to a place where it's going to get flooded. I don't want to move to a place where tomorrow they'll say, oh, this is not a habitable place. Yes, that's what I want. So are you putting the blame on some of these realtors? Is greed now the order of the day? And are these realtors operating independently, or is the government in cahoots with them? Because again, you can't get C of O. Where we were staying had C of O.
Yes.
But somehow it wasn't in the master plan and it had to come down.
So can I even say something before, because I know he's more in development, but from interactive, since I did that video, I've been getting a lot of information from developers and other people. And one of the things that I come to realize, especially about Nigeria, is there's what it should be and there's what it is. If we keep focusing on what it should be, we would keep arguing back and forth. But what it is, where are we currently? And one of the easiest thing, like what he said, is synergy. Holding the government accountable to say, see, this thing has not been done. We are going to keep punging on this thing until it's done. I bet you that they always drive results, especially when it's in a mass number. The reason why that video is because the video had over 2-point-something million accounts. So you see the impact. I am first evidence of impact, seeing it work. And I, as much as possible, I've entered into people's estates. Found out that within even the estate, they don't take care of their gutters. That in itself will cause flooding.
True.
Then when rainy season comes, you find out that in the small governmental state of individuals governing their mini space, you find out that management is a problem. You then understand that the scale, at government scale, is what is being repeated in small fractions that is not taking big scale.
True.
So it then takes individuals like us, you and I, to say, even during dry season, we are not stopping from hammering that place was demolished, the gutter has not been fixed, we need it to be fixed. Until that happens simultaneously, the government will have no option. They won't need to run here or there. They would know, no matter what we do, we have to fix this thing, and they will have to fix it.
True.
And I would also add this. Whenever you're asking the question, how do you know that you're aiming for results, is when you insist on timelines.
True.
Once you insist, like when I had a conversation yesterday, I said timelines. What is the timeline? Oh, this road has been awarded. They need to fix the rain. That's amazing. What's the timeline I'm working with here? So that when I do my next video and tell people, you said 3 months. By month 3, I will come and I will do another video and say, this place hasn't been fixed. This thing hasn't been done. Why is it extended? So with that, it just then gets, movement to be done effectively. That's what I would say.
I hear you clearly on the role of the citizens and us working in synergy with the government. If the government also has an open approach. I mean, if you didn't do that video, chances are you wouldn't have audience with the Honorable Commissioner.
True.
So, I mean, to you now, when we look at realtors, when we look at developers, when we look at the people in this space that are getting the approvals from government to build these houses? Or even let's even look at the environmental that has been introduced. What's the impact of all of that?
Okay, so let me start. This your question has two parts. So let me start from the realtors and developers. So real estate in Lagos is arguably one of the most profitable industries now. And we see that, first of all, every year, more and more millions of people come into Lagos, either looking for opportunities to grow businesses, to grow their personal endeavors, their careers. So, but the real estate space, when it comes to realtors in particular, before I go to developers, is not as regulated. Why I say that is because anybody today can go and snap a house and say they want to rent it out or they want to sell it. You understand? Even though it's supposed to be, if you're looking at our counterparts in other countries, there's supposed to be processes. So this developing company, they have their team
Listing
of sales, agents, their sales agents. They give you open information, what you're supposed to know, not just telling you because you need it now. In Lagos, a nice apartment has 10 people looking at that nice apartment. And then out of those 10 people, first of all, the landlord is going to say, okay, this person is offering me, let's say 5 million, for example, and this person is offering me 10 million. This person will tell his own agent, increase the money to 10 million. That's why we are seeing rental prices going up. It's not even really because the value of those properties are worth those amounts. It's because of, first of all, they are seeing the increased demand. Everybody wants to stay in a good place. Even if I'm paying a little amount, at least let it be conducive, right? And then if I'm paying so much money, let me get enough value for my property. So, but now it's a question of, they will tell you, oh, you're living in Maryland, you're living in Ikeja, but the property might not even worth looking at it, even looking at the structures, you can see that they don't even worth.
So I hear you on the influx of people and how lucrative this sector is because people are constantly looking for places and people take advantage of that. But again, the question is, before these developers, the realtors, the architects, the builders get a structure up, before we even get to the part of renting for 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, somebody has given an approval. They have done a survey. They have put up a structure. And it has been allowed into the market for a free-for-all. It's a separate conversation. How do you have peace of mind when you go to your realtor, you go to your landlord, you go to your agent, and they say, don't worry, this is C of O, these are the documents, and you're sleeping in your house. The next morning, you wake up, and they're coming to demolish. This is a true life experience. And I came on air to say it because it happened to me, and I've heard from so many people that it has affected. So the government is approving. The realtors are benefiting. But the tenants, the people who are living there, the residents, are suffering. So who is taking responsibility for this? Who is taking responsibility for houses being built on floodplains?
So I would like to tilt and speak to that too. One of the things that came up in this whole conversation is how people build. They have their survey and every single thing, and the CFO is giving, but there's now also the pattern of developers encroaching, extending, their this thing beyond where it should be. That's one. Two is that I do not think that the government agencies are not accomplices. They are part of the problem, meaning that there needs to be check and balance. If someone has been given C of O and the person has all the complete documents, I think that before even you say the person has complete document, there has to be like a natural assessment to be sure, like, is this blocking a major drainage? Let's not give it. So when all those things have been pedaled down to how much you can give instead of what should be done, it then destroys the tangibility of any single thing. So even I now, the fear of buying property comes up in my mind a lot.
No, it's a real fear. Any final closing words?
So to answer that question, I would say, when it comes to buying properties, like I said earlier, most times people are usually in the desperate side because timing, sometimes your money can come later and you have to act quickly before you disburse to other means. So you have stipulated time to buy this or invest in so and so for your personal use. So most times people don't ask the right questions like, show me the documents and the validity.
And the environmental
You understand?
assessment.
Environmental
And the
itself. Nobody really
environmental
asks for that.
assessment.
Yeah.
So asking the right questions
Yeah.
and not acting in desperation.
Yeah,
Thank you
exactly.
very much, Emerson Abusonwa and Prince Victor Udoka, for your contributions on this very important topic. And please continue to do the work you're doing. We're truly grateful.
Thank you very much.